Shalom, brothers and sisters in Yahweh, and welcome to our next Bible study. Tonight we are going to be studying Bemidbar, which is Numbers, chapters 7, 8, and 9. So go ahead and grab your Bible, and we'll get started tonight. Get yourself comfortable, get something to drink, get all comfy and cozy. Well, gang, this is the day before what most of America calls Thanksgiving. So, in getting ready for Thanksgiving on Thursday, today's Wednesday, tomorrow's Thursday, getting ready for Thanksgiving, I don't know if you observe Thanksgiving or not, but this year I have been doing research into Thanksgiving to find out whether or not it is a pagan holiday, okay? Because me and my family, we've already given up Christmas and we've already given up Easter, and we don't observe any of the pagan holidays. Halloween, St. Patrick's Day, St. Valentine's Day, all these hokey-pokey man-made holidays. We don't celebrate them. We don't observe them. We don't even recognize them because they're all pagan, okay? Well, I have found some information about what the origins of the real Thanksgiving were, and it appears as though it's very pagan too, and celebrated all over the world as paganistic gods that they're worshiping. So it looks as though that this will be our last from now on, because of the fact that me and my family are attempting to observe Torah to the best of our broken abilities, because we've only been doing Torah for like 3 or 4 years. We're trying to be Torah observant and follow Yahweh's ways, the way. We're trying to do that to the best of our ability. So in doing that and in studying our Bibles, we've been in study with our Bibles for years. Probably the past 12 years we've been studying cover to cover our Bibles. But only for about the past 4 years have we actually been studying the Hebrew Bible, which translations are very important, and words have meaning. As like I've told you several times, words have meaning. So in following the Hebrew Bible and learning Torah, which is the first 5 books of your Bible, whichever Bible you study out of, the KJV or the New Translation or the New King James or whichever Bible you study out of, it's the first 5 books. But because this is a direct translation from Hebrew to English, the translation is it's a lot easier to understand the words. I know when you study your Bible, a lot of people have trouble. They get confused, especially between the original covenant and the renewed covenant, because of the fact that you go from Greco-Roman to, wow, it's just crazy, okay? The renewed covenant is really hard to understand sometimes. But when you go with a Hebrew to English translation, it makes things a lot easier to understand and a lot easier to follow, okay? I'm not going to argue with anybody about Christianity or any of these other things that they have made up and divided the way, because the way was the way of the followers of Yehoshua, okay? It's not worth arguing about, but it is worth taking note of if you're serious about your salvation. If you're serious about following the way of Yahweh, okay? If you're serious about that and you're serious about your salvation, I am going to drop a link in the description box, right down there, at the end of this video. And if you would like to, I'm going to present a nugget down there that gives the complete history of Thanksgiving. So you can watch it, and then you can decide for yourself. Because I'm not going to tell you one way or the other what you should or should not do. You decide for yourself and for your family, okay? We're doing it because we are extremely serious about seeking our salvation. We don't want to get left to be judged as not ever being known. That's the scariest thing I can even think of. So, if you're serious about it too, then check out the link that's in the description box at the end of the video. Okay? That's all I'm going to say about it. Alright, gang. Tonight, Bemidbar, which is Numbers, chapter 7, 8, and 9. Okay? So let's get to it tonight. Oh, I'm going to take a drink off my coffee first, and then we'll get going. Coffee's good stuff. Alright, gang. Bemidbar, chapter 7. And it came to be, when Moshe finished setting up the dwelling place, that he anointed it, and set it apart, and all its furnishings, as well as the slaughter place, and all the utensils. Thus he anointed them, and set them apart. And the leaders of Yisrael, heads of their fathers' houses, who were the leaders of the tribes, and over the ones registered, drew near. And they brought their offering before Yahweh, 6 covered wagons, and 12 cattle, a wagon for every 2 of the leaders, and for each one a bull. And they brought them near before the dwelling place. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, Accept these from them, and they shall be used in doing the service of the tent of appointment, and you shall give them to the Levites, each one according to his service. And Moshe took the wagons and the cattle, and gave them to the Levites. And he gave 2 wagons and 4 cattle to the sons of Gershon, according to their service. And he gave 4 wagons and 8 cattle to the sons of Merari, according to their service, under the hand of Ithamar, the son of Aaron the priest. But the sons of Kohath he gave none, because theirs was the service of the set-apart objects, which they bore on their shoulders. So the guys that were taking care of the tent, and the guys that were taking care of the wooden planks, and all that stuff, they went ahead and gave them wagons. Boy, I bet they were glad. Whoo, can you imagine carrying all that stuff? But the guys that were assigned to carry the ark, and the altar, and the shewbread table, and those things, they had the staves. They had to carry them by hand on their shoulders. Okay, they weren't allowed to put those, because they were the most set apart furnishings. They weren't allowed to put those on a wagon and cart them around. They had to carry them. Okay, just a little explanation there. Verse 10, And the leaders brought the dedication offering of the slaughter place in the day it was anointed. So the leaders brought their offering before the slaughter place. And Yahweh said to Moshe, Let them bring their offering 1 leader each day for the dedication of the slaughter place. And the one who brought his offering on the first day was Nahashon, son of Aminadab, from the tribe of Judah. And his offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the set-apart place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil, as a grain offering. 1 gold ladle of 10 shekels, filled with incense. 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old, and as an ascending offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering, and as a slaughtering of peace offerings, 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Nahshon, son of Aminadab. On the 2nd day, Nathaniel, son of Tsar, leader of Issachar, brought near. He brought his offering, 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the set-apart place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil, as a grain offering. 1 golden ladle of 10 shekels, filled with incense. It better be the right incense, huh? We know what happens when you serve up the wrong incense. Verse 21, one young bull, one ram, one male lamb a year old, as an ascending offering, one male goat, as a sin offering, and as a slaughtering of peace offerings, 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Nathanael, son of Soar. Now you notice there's kind of the same thing going on here. Every single tribe brought the same thing so that nobody seemed better than anybody else. They were all equal in what they were offering, okay? So this is going to get a little repetitious, but that's okay. We're reading every word of the Bible, cover to cover. So we got to cover all this. So hang on, here we go. Verse 24, on the 3rd day, Eliab, son of Helon, leader of the children of Zebulun. His offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the set-apart place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering. Let's stop there for a minute. Fine flour. Fine flour means that it has been beaten to a pulp, sifted, so that it is super fine flour. So just imagine if you're doing that by hand. You're taking the wheat berries and you're processing the wheat berries down into flour. That takes enough time to mill them out, to crush them all down into flour. But then it's going to take a lot longer to sift them and to crush them all the way down into fine flour. So that takes a lot of work. So these dedications, it took some effort to make these dedications for these people. It wasn't like they could just go to the store and pick up a bag of flour, you know. They had to start with wheat berries. So kind of gives you an idea of the effort that was put forward here. Verse 26, 1 golden ladle of 10 shekels, filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old, as an ascending offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering, and as a slaughtering of peace offerings, 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Eliab, son of Helon. On the 4th day, Elzor, son of Shedeur, leader of the children of Reuben. His offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the set-apart place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, 1 golden ladle of 10 shekels, filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old, as an ascending offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering, and as a slaughtering of peace offerings, 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Elzor, son of Shedeur. Okay, now let's think about this. It's kind of a good thing that we don't have to go to the temple anymore. Because if we did, can you imagine how much livestock would be having to do all of this? This is to anoint the temple. So this is just like one ceremony. This doesn't even include all the other sacrifices throughout the year, the peace offerings and the ascending offerings and the sin offerings and all the different offerings. Just imagine how many animals you, as a single individual in a tribe, would have to possess in order to do all of these ceremonies. There's a lot of animals involved there. Everybody nowadays, there's hardly anybody that raises animals, so boy, it'd be tough, huh? Just an observation. Verse 36, on the 5th day, Shemuel, son of Tzuradai, leader of the children of Simon, Shimeon. His offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the set-apart place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil, as a grain offering, 1 golden ladle of 10 shekels, filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old, as an ascending offering, one male goat as a sin offering. And as a slaughtering of peace offerings, 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Shemuel, son of Shaddai. On the 6th day, Elisaphan, son of Duel, leader of the children of Gad. His offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the set-apart place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, 1 golden ladle of 10 shekels, filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old, as an ascending offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering. And as a slaughtering of peace offerings, 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Eliasaph, son of Duel. On the 7th day, Eliashama, son of Ammihud, leader of the children of Ephraim. His offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the set-apart place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, 1 gold ladle of 10 shekels, filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old, as an ascending offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering. And as a slaughtering of peace offerings, 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Elishama, son of Ammihud. On the 8th day, Gabriel, son of Pedashur, leader of the children of Manasseh. His offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the set-apart place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, 1 gold ladle of 10 shekels, filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old as an ascending offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering. And as a slaughtering of peace offerings, 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Gamaliel, son of Pedashur. On the 9th day, Abidan, son of Gideoni, leader of the children of Benjamin. His offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl, 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the set-apart place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, 1 golden ladle of 10 shekels, filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old as an ascending offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering. And as a slaughtering of peace offerings, 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Abidan, son of Gideoni. On the 10th day, Ahiezer, son of Amminashadai, leader of the children of Dan. His offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the set-apart place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, 1 gold ladle of 10 shekels, filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old as an ascending offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering, and as a slaughtering of peace offerings, 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Abiazar, son of Amminashadai. On the 11th day, Pagiel, son of Okran, leader of the children of Asher. His offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the set-apart place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, 1 gold ladle of 10 shekels, filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old as a ascending offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering. And as a slaughtering of peace offerings, 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Pagiel, son of Akran. On the 12th day, Ahira, son of Anan, leader of the children of Naphtali. His offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels according to the shekel of the set-apart place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering. 1 gold ladle of 10 shekels filled with incense. 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old as an ascending offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering. And as a slaughtering of peace offerings, 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Ahira, son of Enan. That was a lot, huh? Excuse me. Verse 84, this was the dedication of the slaughtered place from the leaders of Israel when it was anointed. 12 silver dishes, 12 silver bowls, 12 gold ladles. Each silver dish was 130 shekels. Each silver bowl was 70 shekels. All the silver of the vessels was 2,400 shekels, according to the shekel of the set-apart place. Man, they got a bunch there, huh? The 12 gold ladles filled with incense was 10 shekels each, according to the shekel of the set-apart place. All the gold of the ladles was 120 shekels. They got a bunch of gold there, too. All the cattle for the ascending offering were 12 young bulls, the rams 12, the male lambs a year old 12, with their grain offering, and the male goats as a sin offering 12. And all the cattle for the slaughtering of the peace offerings were 24 bulls, the rams 60, the male goats 60, the lambs a year old 60. This was the dedication of the slaughter place after it was anointed. So that's just to dedicate the tent of appointment. Wow. That was a bunch. Wow. Verse 89, and when Moshe went into the tent of appointment to speak with him, he heard the voice of one speaking to him from above the lid of atonement that was on the ark of the wilderness, or of the witness, from between the 2 cherubim. Thus he spoke to him. Chapter 8. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to Aaron, and say to him, When you ascend to trim the lamps, let the 7 lamps give light in front of the lampstand. And Aaron did so. He set up the lamps to face toward the front of the lampstand, as Yahweh commanded Moshe. And this is the work of the lampstand, beaten work of gold. From its base to its blossoms it is beaten work, according to the pattern which Yahweh had shown Moshe. So he made the lampstand. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, Take the Levites from among the children of Israel, that you shall cleanse them, and do this to them to cleanse them. Sprinkle water of sin offering on them. Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. And they shall shave all their body, and shall wash their garments, and cleanse themselves. And shall take a young bull, with its grain offering of fine flour mixed with oil, while you take another young bull as a sin offering. And you shall bring the Levites before the tent of appointment, and you shall assemble all the congregation of the children of Israel. And you shall bring the Levites before Yahweh, and the children of Israel shall lay their hands on the Levites. So they're laying of the hands, okay? Verse 11, and Aaron shall wave the Levites before Yahweh, a wave offering from the children of Israel. So shall they be for doing the service of Yahweh. And the Levites shall lay their hands on the heads of the young bulls, and one shall be prepared as a sin offering, and the other as an ascending offering to Yahweh, to make atonement for the Levites. And you shall have the Levites stand before Aaron and his sons, and then wave them, a wave offering to Yahweh. Thus you shall separate the Levites from among the children of Israel, and the Levites shall be mine. Then after that the Levites shall go in to do the service in the tent of appointment, when you have cleansed them, and waved them as a wave offering. For they are given ones, given to me, from among the children of Israel. I have taken them for myself, instead of all who open the womb, the firstborn of all the children of Israel. Do you remember when all of that happened? Back in Exodus, okay? Yeah, well now it's the Levites instead of all the firstborn. Verse 17, for all the firstborn among the children of Israel are mine, both man and beast. On the day that I struck all the firstborn in the land of Mitzrayim, I set them apart unto myself. And I have taken the Levites instead of all the firstborn of the children of Israel. So the Levites belong to Yahweh. And I have given the Levites as a gift to Aaron and his sons from among the children of Israel, to do the service of the children of Israel in the tent of appointment, and to make atonement for the children of Israel, that there be no plague among the children of Israel, when the children of Israel come near the set-apart place. Thus Moshe and Aaron and all the congregation of the children of Israel did to the Levites according to all that Yahweh commanded Moshe concerning the Levites. So the children of Israel did to them. Okay, so if you want to check all of that we just read about between the firstborn and now the Levites, it's Exodus 13 if you want to check all that. Verse 21, and the Levites cleansed themselves and washed their garments, and Aaron waved them a wave offering before Yahweh, and Aaron made atonement for them to cleanse them. Then, after that, the Levites went in to do their service in the tent of appointment before Aaron and his sons, as Yahweh commanded Moshe concerning the Levites, so they did to them. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, this applies to the Levites from 25 years old and above. Let him come into active service in the service of the tent of appointment. And at the age of 50 years they retire from active service of the service, and serve no more. But they shall attend with their brothers in the tent of appointment, to guard the duty, but shall do no service. Thus you shall do to the Levites regarding their duties. So when you get to be 50 years old, you don't have to do your duties anymore, but you make sure that the kids are all doing what they're supposed to do. Yeah. Chapter 9. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe in the wilderness of Sinai in the first new moon of the second year, after they had come out of the land of Mitzrayim, saying, now let the children of Israel perform the Pesach at its appointed time. Time for Passover. Verse 3, on the 14th day of this new moon, between the evenings, perform it at its appointed time. According to all its laws and right rulings, you perform it. Don't mess around. And Moshe spoke to the children of Israel to perform the Pesach. So they performed the Pesach on the 14th day of the first new moon, between the evenings, in the wilderness of Sinai, according to all that Yahweh commanded Moshe. So the children of Israel did. So they all obeyed and did what they were told. Good kids. Oh, Dad's happy. Good kids. Verse 6. But there were men who were defiled for a being of a man. What is the being of a man? They had to deal with a dead guy, dead body, so they were defiled. So that they were not able to perform the Pesach on that day. So they came before Moshe and Aaron that day. And those men said to him, we are defiled from the being of a man. Why are we withheld from bringing near the offering of Yahweh at its appointed time among the children of Israel? And Moshe said to them, wait Let me hear what Yahweh commands concerning you. So Moshe did the right thing. He was like, hang on, you guys. I can't decide this right now. I got to confer with Dad and see what he thinks. Verse 9, and Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, speak to the children of Israel, saying, when any male of you or your generations is unclean from a being, or is far away on a journey, he shall still perform the Pesach of Yahweh. On the 14th day of the second new moon, between the evenings, they perform it. With unleavened bread and bitter herbs they eat it. So, on the 14th day of the second new moon, so a month later, they wait until they're clean. It takes them a month, and then they can celebrate the Pesach. Okay, so it's not the first. It's not the first new moon of the first month. It's the 14th day of the second new moon. So it's the 14th day of the second month that they're able to celebrate the Pesach. They do not leave of it until morning, and they do not break any bone of it. According to all the laws of the Pesach, they perform it. Okay, now we're going to do a little flippy flip because this has a lot to do with Yehoshua. So, I want you all to turn to John chapter 19, verse 31. Okay? John chapter 19, verse 31. Okay, I'll give you a second. Okay, you got it? All right. Therefore, since it was the preparation day, the day before the Pesach, okay, I'm sorry, the day before the High Holy Day, the day of preparation, because Pesach was they had the Last Supper on Pesach. So, Yehoshua was crucified the next morning, which is the preparation day. So, is because the Sabbath was a high holy day because it was right after the Pesach and after the beginning of unleavened bread. So, therefore, since it was the preparation day, that the body should not remain on the stake on the Sabbath, for that Sabbath was a high one, the Yehudim asked Pilate to have their legs broken, and that they be taken away off the cross off the stake before sundown, because the next day was the Sabbath, and so they had to get them off of there. Verse 32, therefore the soldiers came and broke the legs of the first, and of the other who was impaled with him. But when they came to Yehoshua, and saw that he was already dead, they did not break his legs. But one of the soldiers pierced his side with a spear, and instantly blood and water came out. And he who has seen has witnessed. His witness is true, and he knows that he is speaking the truth, in order that you might believe. Okay? So this is prophecy, okay? The celebration of Pesach, you're not supposed to break any bones. That's why you slit the animal's throat. It's part of the purification, the water purification. Water and blood. Water and wine. Okay? What happened when they stabbed Yehoshua in the side? Water and blood came out. Okay, so can you see the similarities there between the Pesach offering and the offering of Yehoshua? Can you see the similarities there? No broken bones, and they just bleed them out. They don't do anything else. They bleed them out. Okay? Let's go ahead and go back to Numbers. Okay. Let's start back at verse 12. They do not leave of it until morning, and they do not break a bone of it. Okay, so Yahushua was not left on the stake because the next day was a high holy Sabbath, and not one bone was broken. Okay? According to all the laws of the Pesach, they performed it. But the man who is clean, and is not on a journey, and has failed to perform the Pesach, that same being shall be cut off from among his people, because he did not bring the offering of Yahweh at its appointed time. That man bears his sin. So if you haven't got any excuses, you better be there. Verse 14, and when a stranger sojourns among you, who are the strangers that sojourn among the children of Israel? Us, the Gentiles, we're hanging out with the children of Israel. Okay, we're the sojourners. Then he shall perform the Pesach of Yahweh. He shall do so according to the law of the Pesach, and according to the right ruling. You have one law, both for the stranger and the native of the land. That's why we are no longer going to celebrate Thanksgiving, because it is a pagan holiday. It's a pagan tradition, okay? Doesn't go along with anything that Yahweh commanded as far as the set-apart holidays, the feast days. Has nothing to do with any of that. Although people will argue that, oh, we're giving thanks for the harvest, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, the harvest festival is celebrated around the world, and all the pagans all celebrate the harvest festival. What God are they celebrating? What God are they thanking? It's not a commandment of Yahweh. So you need to ask yourself these questions when we have to deal with these worldly holidays. Watch that video. It's got a lot of good information. Okay? Verse 15, and on the day that the dwelling place was raised up, the cloud covered the dwelling place, the tent of the witness. From evening until morning it was above the dwelling place, like the appearance of fire. Thus it was continually. The cloud covered it by day, and the appearance of fire by night. And whenever the cloud was taken up from above the tent, after that the children of Israel would depart, and in the place where the cloud dwelt, there the children of Israel would camp. At the mouth of Yahweh, the children of Israel departed, and at the command of Yahweh they camped. They remained camped as long as the cloud dwelt above the dwelling place. Even when the cloud lingered many days above the dwelling place, the children of Israel guarded the charge of Yahweh and did not depart. And so it was, when the cloud was above the dwelling place a few days, according to the mouth of Yahweh they camped, and according to the mouth of Yahweh they would depart. And so it was, when the cloud dwelt only from evening until morning, when the cloud was taken up in the morning, then they departed, whether by day or by night. Whenever the cloud was taken up, they departed. Whether 2 days, or a new moon, or a year, that the cloud lingered above the dwelling place to dwell upon it, the children of Israel camped, and did not depart. But when it was taken up, they departed. At the mouth of Yahweh they camped, and at the mouth of Yahweh they departed. They guarded the charge of Yahweh, at the mouth of Yahweh, by the hand of Moshe. Wow! Really, really, really foot stomping it, that when Yah said, rest, you rest. When Yahweh said, let's go, you went. How many times did he say that? Like 4 times in a row. So major foot stomping. Don't get up and take off without him saying, and don't stop without him saying. You just keep going until Yahweh says, all right, guys, we're camping here. All right, gang, that is the end of chapter 9 and the end of tonight's study. Yeah, that first part was a bit repetitive, but we have to understand that Yahweh's letting everybody know nobody's going to be better than anybody else. Everybody is just giving exactly the same. No tribe is competing against any other tribe to give a better offering. Everybody just gives the same offering and everybody receives the same blessing. Fair. Because our Father is completely fair. He is completely righteous and upright in everything he does. Okay? But it's a good study. And there's a lot there for us. So, I'm glad you all joined me tonight. Thank you very much. And thank you for sticking with our studies. This is so important, gang. Nobody knows. Everybody's so deceived in these Christian churches. 54,000 denominations of Christian churches. And nobody knows. All my years of being Catholic, from the time I was born, nobody ever cracked open a Bible. I never knew the Bible. I had no idea. Until about 15 years ago, I had no clue. And then I was introduced because me and my wife went through Bible college. And yeah, Bible college. Same learning that all the Christian pastors learn in the schools. Okay, it's the same thing. There's no difference. So when we got out of Bible college, I was still skipping around all over the place, didn't know nothing, cherry picking here and there and everywhere to try to prove a point, da 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 da. It wasn't until I stopped and I opened Genesis 1:1 and I dedicated myself to read the entire Bible cover to cover. Then I finally was like, wow, this is how it's supposed to be read. Then I read it again and again and again and again. And I read the KJV. I used to swear by the KJV. And one time I was in a Bible study with a bunch of guys. And I was talking to them about studying the Old Testament, the original covenant. Because I had realized by that time that it was really important that we study Torah. And they were making fun of me. And they said, none of that matters anymore. The only thing that matters now is the new covenant, which is not a new covenant, it's a renewed covenant, but nobody understands that. And one night, one of the guys in the Bible study brought me the Bible that I have right now, my scriptures. And he threw it in my lap and he said, here, if you want to be a Jew, here's a Jew Bible. Talk about insulting. I was like, okay, whatever. So I brought it home. And then the next time that I started reading the Bible from cover to cover, I started in Genesis 1:1 of the scriptures. And the difference is unbelievable. It's absolutely incredible. Talk about eye-opening. First of all, I had my eyes open because everything I had ever been taught was nothing. Then I had my eyes open because after I finally learned what the Bible was about in the Greco-Roman translation, then all of a sudden I had my eyes opened huge by the Hebrew translation, Hebrew to English. The difference is unreal. It's so much easier to understand, and because words have meaning, it's a lot easier to comprehend what Yahweh expects of all of us, his children. Just a huge difference. And then I started catching on to the holidays, these worldly holidays. Christmas is not Yehoshua's birthday. If you are in understanding of when Yehoshua was born, Yehoshua was born on Pesach, or right before Pesach, because of the fact that Bethlehem was where all the people gathered. It was right below Jerusalem, and all the people would gather there to get their sacrificial sheep to go up to Jerusalem for the Pesach. So that's why the inns were all full, and the shepherds were in their fields. Okay, when you read the KJV, that's how it's described. That's why Mary and Joseph could not find room at the inn. Okay, so Yehoshua was born right either on Pesach or right before Pesach. And Easter is absolutely an abomination. Christmas is bad enough because Christmas is actually the celebrating of the winter solstice, which is totally pagan. The Christmas tree is totally pagan. Easter is just as bad. Easter is the celebration of the fertility goddess Ishtar from Egypt. Yeah, that's great. The eggs and the rabbits and all that stuff. Yeah, the celebration of a fertility god. It's not even close to when Yehoshua was sacrificed on the stake. That was on Pesach, as we just covered. The Last Supper was on Pesach, and Yehoshua was sacrificed the next day and had to be taken down off the stake, because of the fact that the day after that was a high Sabbath. So he was sacrificed on a Thursday, according to a Gregorian calendar. On a Thursday was the Pesach. Then on a Friday he was sacrificed and had to be taken down before the sun went down, because sunset is when the Sabbath started. Do you see, guys? Is this starting to make a little sense to you? These worldly pagan holidays that we have been taught, and that our parents were taught, and that their parents were taught, and the generation after generation after generation of deception is crazy. It's just crazy. And when you finally do realize it, it's such a slap in the head. And it's infuriating to know that we have been so deceived. But now, you have an opportunity to set all that straight. Read about it. Study it. Know the truth. The truth will set you free. Thanksgiving is no different. Alright, gang. That's all I've got. I hope y'all have a good day. I hope the rest of your week goes really smoothly. Don't get caught up in Black Friday. Talk about wickedness. Oh my goodness. Total wickedness. Give thanks. Praise Yah. Give thanks. Love our Elohim with all your mind, body, and soul. And love each other as the same. Thanks, gang, for joining me. Y'all have a great day, and we will see you Thursday night for our next extra canonical study. All right? All right. Y'all have a great evening, and we'll see you then. Shalom.